Camera.
Okay, I am Sister Dina Maria. That's my name as a sister, and I am a member of the congregation of the Religious of the Assumption. That's the official name, but actually they also call us Assumption Sisters.
So, sister, what is holy order for you and its importance?
If you use that expression holy orders, it really refers to priests. Holy orders as an expression refers to the priesthood. And in the Catholic religion, we call Catholic tradition, because there are other religions, they also have their priests, but let us concentrate on our own religion. It refers to priests, the ones we call father, and the ones who are in our parish churches, the priests who are chaplains. Actually, there are two kinds of priests. The ones whom we call diocesan priests and the religious priests. The Jesuits, for example. There are Jesuits, there are also priests. The Salesians are also religious, they are also priests. The Dominicans in your school, UST, they are also religious. They belong to a religious order, that's why we say religious order. But they are also ordained as priests. So, doble. But like Archbishop Chico Tablet, he's not a religious. He chose to be a diocesan priest. So, in Antique, we also have that, in your parishes there. They are with the bishop of the diocese, and they don't belong to a religious order. Most of them. So that's the difference. But all of them receive holy orders. They're ordained as priests.
So how is the process of profession, or how is it conducted?
If you say profession, that refers to religious, in general, it's within the Mass. I think it's not only in general. It should be within the Mass. And it's either a bishop or a priest who is the presider. But in a religious profession, the superior of the congregation is there. So what happens, what I remember is, the Mass goes on. Of course, they introduce, today we have Sister so-and-so who will make her final profession, meaning to say perpetual profession. And she makes her vows. She pronounces, actually I brought here so that I'll show you. It is what we pronounce when we make our vows. I make my vows before my superior. It is not to the bishop, even if the bishop is the one saying the Mass. And we call this the formula. More or less, it's the same for different religious orders. But there are three things that are always mentioned, which cannot be left out, and that is what we call the evangelical counsels, the vow of chastity, poverty, and obedience. So, and it is public. It has to be in a public place. Why in the public? Why in a public place? Because it's like the people are responsible also for you. It's like saying, you have to support me in my commitment. You have to help me become faithful to what I have vowed. So that's the religious profession. Then the priest gives the blessing, and then the sister is welcomed by the sisters, by her family. And lately we have included, it's the parents who bring their daughter, and even for religious brothers who make their final vows, the parents walk with them. It's like you're entrusted to their new family, which is their religious congregation.
And who can conduct these profession, who order the vows? Who can conduct them?
As I said, it's within the Mass, so you're lucky if you can invite a bishop, but any priest can celebrate the Mass. And within the Mass, there's a part where the priest stops and says something to the sister who will make her vows, and then the profession ritual goes on according to the customs of the congregation. So the superior is really there. And in fact, it says here, and into your hands, in the presence of my community, it's not here anymore, but it says, and in your hands, sister, meaning as my superior, I make this vow. You are the witness. You are receiving it in the name of the whole congregation.
So, are there differences in the process of the ordination or profession of priests and nuns?
Certainly, because for the priests, I think it should always be the bishop. Only a bishop can ordain priests. But for us, it's either a priest or a bishop. It doesn't matter. When you remember the 7 sacraments, holy orders is one of the 7 sacraments. Religious profession is not. So priests have a very well-defined ordination ceremony. And in fact, the people are also asked, is this person really ready for the priesthood? Was he well formed? Are there any objections to his being ordained a priest? Then you have to make sure. So it's a different ceremony, but it is a ceremony that I think makes the priest also realize how important is this act is making, asking to be ordained a priest. So it's always a bishop or an archbishop. In some special occasions, the Holy Father, the Pope, when he comes, they arrange an ordination of many priests. So that's a very special ceremony.
So what were your feelings before and after you profess or you make your vows or you became a nun?
Okay, you know that it takes 7 to 9 years to be accepted to make your final vows. There are steps. When you ask to become a sister, you begin by, you try to know, what is this life about? How are the sisters here? So sometimes what we do is we invite this young person to visit different houses so that she gets to do a bigger picture of the congregation. Then of course, she has to know about the history and all that. So after that, another level of formation, then we have what we call the first vows. This one is private. It's not in a big church. But it's like you're expressing your intention. I want to continue. But still, you are given a lot of formation, maybe for 5 years. And if you are not ready, you can say, can I ask for 1 more year? Then it's given to you. But I think after 9 years, if you are not yet sure, I think this is not the place for you. So, how did I feel? Well, I felt that